Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about survivors. I just learned this. This is my Alliance support hub. And as you can see, I have all gold survivors on there. I have 29 chances to get help, and each help will give me 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Now, here's the thing about purple survivors versus gold survivors. When I look at this guy, I get 3 helps, 2 minutes 24. And if I look at this guy, Javier, whatever, I get 2 helps, 3 minutes 40 seconds. If I look at this one, I get no help, just the chances, no time taken off. So if we look at my help time here, it is 4 minutes 48. When I take off these 2 lawyers on the right, that have no stars, and I put this guy on, and then I put this one on, I get 12 minutes 28 seconds, right? If I did a third, I'd get 13 minutes 44. If I do a fourth, let's see, I'd get full 15. So if you work out the math, you actually get more time taken off for using purples that have stars on them versus gold survivors that either have no stars or even just the 1 star, right? And if I look, this is a little hard to find. If you give me a second. Okay, so the way you get to this list is you go to the survivor list, you go to deploy, and then you'll find all your buildings and their survivors. On the top here, I've got Alliance Support Hub. If I go, like this is my first one, Amanda, I have 44 shards that I could put on her and get more time. This guy Charles, 26, so that's two notches. 63, that would get me a full star. And 37, which would get me 3 notches, right? So I would lose out on the amount of helps that I can get, but each help will give me more time reduced. Something you got to think about. This also, and since the purple ones have an increased drop rate compared to the gold ones, if we go to this guy, and it's this one, right? So the gold ones are at a 6.66% drop rate. And then if I go to the per play, they are at an 18.66666 drop rate, which is 6, 12, 18. That's 3 times the chance to get a purple. So you'd have to do your own math and what you've got going on, but it might be better to rock a bunch of purples until you get some decently starred gold survivors. Something to think about. When it comes to survivors on your tech centers, I think what's better is having more research speed percentage versus the free speed up time. The speed up time is, let's say, for example, the build is a 5-hour build, for example, and I have free speed up time 4 hours. Let's just call it 4, make it simple. It would take it from 5 hours to 1 hour as soon as I run the tech, right? That is, with included whatever, like say the original time was really 16 hours, right? And with my survivors buffs, yada yada, it came down to 5 hours. The free speed up time takes off this time right here immediately once the tech has started its research. The same thing applies for the builders. If I go to my builder's hut, it's the same gig. As soon as I start any build, 6 hours, 46 minutes, and 48 seconds are immediately taken off one time. So you have to look at if it's worth rocking a bunch of purples versus an unstarred gold, right? If you can get, say, for example, James, I can't see it here. Whoops. James, select. Right? She's giving me, at 2 stars, she's giving me 36 minutes off. And Jolene, the gold one, only gives me 30 with no stars. Gold isn't always the best just because you got it. Now, I understand that looking at, the helmet thing can, what's the word? Like, you'll want to get rid of that bubble, but keep in mind that 15 minutes 25 times is a lot better, and I'll tell you the math in a second. This current setup of 15 minutes 25 times will take off 375 minutes, which is 6 hours and 6.25 hours. So 6 hours, 15 minutes, or 6.25 hours, whatever that means in English, right? And if I did the math correctly, 4 minutes, 48 seconds, 29 times gives me 2 hours and 32 minutes taken off. That's a big jump, a big difference between 6 hours and 2 hours, right? You get an extra 4 hours for running the purples, or at least in my particular case. The only thing is, you're going to have to see this bubble for, as long as it takes for you to get decently built up gold ones. And as I said, gold ones are significantly harder to get a decent drop on. But these are the things we got to think about.